Hi, my name is Ben Schiermeyer and I work for Chad Reed on the Mountain Motorsports CBD MD 22 Motorsports. So Chad runs Pro Taper SX Race Bend handlebars with third waffle soft grips, arc controls, clutch purge, front brake lever. Pretty even, yeah, pretty neutral. Yeah, we run an aluminum Pro Circuit throttle tube. Front brake lever is just an arc folding lever, same as the clutch. Cables, throttle housing, all that stock. Master cylinders stock, and then with a Works billet caliper. Triple clamps, we're running X-Trig stock offset, 5mm forward bar mounts. Yeah, suspension is it's Showa kit stuff. All the valving and stuff's done by Johnny Oler at Art of War. He just does it on his own. He doesn't really, he's not a fan of start maps. Never really has been. Just stock ECU and yeah, extra bracing. Those are Nihilo brackets and a Pro Circuit lockdown device, dual button, 15mm difference. I'd say it's pretty average. It's not, I wouldn't say it's really low and it's not too high. It's kind of just in the middle. He's never been a guy that runs it really low. Just kind of if he's feeling like he needs it a little lower and he needs some more weight on the front, but normally we just run the top position. Fork lugs are just the standard kit lug that comes on the kit fork for the Honda. Axle is a titanium axle from Metech, and then the wheels, Talon hub, DID rims, it's all assembled by W. Spokes are a little bit more heavy duty just for supercross. It takes more of a beating. Brakes are, we run Galfer pads and rotors front and rear. Oversized 270 rotor in the front. So we have, Chad had a couple Nissan Works calipers left over from when he had his team in the past, and that's what we're running on the race bike right now. Radiators are just stock size. They're just welded on all the seams, and then there's bracing in the back if you ever get in a crash to try to keep them from bending up and getting a hole in there. Yeah, the radiator cap is 1.8. It's just a, I think it's off a KX65 is what it comes on, but that's, I think, pretty much what you'll find that on everybody's bike throughout the pits. Yeah, Motohose has a different routing that they run. It's pretty much the same routing they run on the factory bikes. The Honda tends to run a little hot, so anything we can do to get it cooler is helping us out. We'll just run the stock skid plate all the time. If it's really muddy, we'll just tape it up if we need to, but that's pretty much all we would do. We had a lot of help from DASA. Chad's worked with them in the past, and I know Dan as well from my past experience, and he really helped us out with a piston and did the porting and got us a cam from Webcam. So those guys really came together and helped us out. The engines were assembled by Bundy Built. He used to work with us in the past, and he's been around for a long time, and in the time constraints we had, I just didn't have time to do it myself, so we had him basically assemble everything for us and polish the cases and the stator cover and the valve cover. Athena's been helping us out with gaskets and all that kind of stuff, so it's been a big help with not having to get stuff from a dealer, you know, they're been a big help. Engine hangers are from Works Chassis Lab. They have a lot of different options, and it's kind of a tuning tool that we've been using because we don't have a suspension guy at the races, so it makes a pretty big difference. So we play around a lot with the top hangers and the front hangers, and they have soft, stiff, and medium, both top and front, so we're always kind of just playing around with that depending on the track. Yeah, so we're running a Pro Circuit shifter. It's got a good cleaning in the front so it doesn't get mud clogged in there, and it's just a standard offset. And then we're running the Hinson cable brackets, a little bit stiffer and less flex to keep it more consistent. The swing arm pivot is titanium, also from Metech. All the tie on the bikes from Metech. And then the foot pegs are a copy of the Works Honda pegs that Nihilo made, and I believe he's actually selling them now. So Nihilo makes the peg, the pin, and the mount. It's basically a one-stop shop there. He always likes to get a little extra grip, and it keeps the anodizing a little bit nicer. Subframe standard. No Toil does all our air filter stuff, and they have a cage without a screen and a supercross filter that lets some more air in. They've been really good to work with. And swing arm's just the standard swing arm that we had anodized. We're running a DID chain with Pro Taper sprockets, and the chain guides are just stock. And we're running Pro Circuit axle blocks with a titanium rear axle, also from Metech. Chad runs a 120 Works rear tire. It's a spec tire from Dunlop. We've gone back and forth in the past with a 110, 120, but on the Honda, we pretty much stuck with a 120 the whole time. And we're running DID rim in the back with a Talon hub, and it's all assembled by W. Pro Circuit has been doing our exhaust. It's basically just a customer off-the-shelf pipe, and we dynoed some pipes back to back, and that was the best one on the dyno. Mitch has always, you know, he's worked with Chad a long time, and it's always been good. The rear brake it's a stock master cylinder, stock caliper, stock line. We just switched out the hardware to titanium and running Galfer pads and a Galfer rear rotor, which is just a standard size rotor. Chad does not like a stiff seat, so as long as the cover's not ripped and it doesn't look too beat up, I usually don't even change the cover in between races because he just likes the broken feel of the seat. Yeah, stock rear master cylinder, stock clevis, stock brake pedal with a Nihilo brake pedal tip on it, titanium, and it's sharper, more grip. So Hinson's been a big supporter of Chad's throughout his whole career, and they've been great to work with, and we're just running a standard Hinson 7-plate clutch setup. We run stiffer springs, obviously. Chad's harder on the clutch than some guys, so we try to do everything we can to get through a main event without losing the clutch. We had basically 2.5 weeks to get all this together, so a lot of stuff is stock, and a lot of it was just done because of the time that we had to do what we could do. So the rear shock is the standard Showa kit shock with a titanium spring, and the linkage is just stock. Like I said earlier, the Honda tends to run a bit hotter than most, so we have a Boyson supercooler which just came out before the season, and they hooked us up with some to keep our bikes running cool. So basically we didn't get our we got 4 stock bikes from the dealership from Motorsports, which has been a big help, and they're basically funding this so we can be here racing. But we didn't end up getting bikes till December 11th, with Chad and I being gone pretty much the whole month of November, and then kind of got our feet back on the ground when we got back. And then we got bikes December 11th, and the truck left Monday before A1. It was a lot of 17-hour days to get everything done, and you know, everything just from getting the truck wrapped to getting graphics made to getting the canopy done. It's, you know, most people plan that stuff months in advance, and we were we were trying to find a rig to race out of, and it was pretty intense. A couple weeks getting ready and being able to show up here. You know, Chad's ridden on almost every team in the pits, and he knows what every team has for factory parts. And yeah, sure, there's some stuff that we would like to have, and you know, but it just, some of it's not possible, so we get as close as we can with the resources that are available to us and just do the best we can do with what we got. Yeah, Factory Effects did our graphics for us. They've worked with Chad a long time again, and they did a killer job getting everything done in the last minute, and Chirby's is helping us out with plastic, so it's been good. So Chad chose the Honda just because Hondas are one of the best selling bikes out there, and a lot of people make parts for it, and a lot of people want to help you out because they sell so much product for it. So, you know, going to Mitch and getting a pipe, or going to Works Chassis Lab and getting engine hangers, or Hinson or Galfer, any of those people, you know, everybody makes stuff for a Honda. For some of the bikes, people don't make as much stuff for. The Honda's easy to get parts for.